Liz?
Yes, I have.
It's about Ken Barlow.
I know.
Well, he were right boring as a teacher, but none of us ever died from it.
Really?
Although he did used to bog off to lose. Eh? Do you reckon he was going on to about William Shakespeare? That's all he talked to us about.
Look, this is no laughing matter, Leanne.
No, and it wasn't for her, was it? Barbara Fanshawe, better known as Babs.
Hiya.
Morning. Hey, do you take funny women out in your spare time?
Pardon?
Well, if he could be one, so could you. About the same age, aren't you?
Thank you.
Thanks, though.
What's she on about?
Ken Barlow, look. He's a male escort. Says so in the Weatherfield Gazette. Let's have a look.
Look, there'll be a mistake.
It's on front page.
But so was aliens turned my son into a fish finger. It doesn't mean it happened.
Well, they can't print it if it's not true.
How can a married woman be so innocent?
Alec Gilroy, running an escort agency.
Yeah, I'm from the Rovers.
It says here the woman paid 75 quid for a night out with Ken.
There's a lot of lonely people in this world.
Aye.
Well, they'd have to be to pay 75 quid for Ken Barlow. I won't give 75p.
Now, I'll take one of these, Reet.
Yeah, and I'll take what's the Rovers.
Plays his cards close to his chest, that Barlow, doesn't he?
Oh, he's a dirty old man.
Ah,
Couldn't sleep.
neither could I.
I don't know what to wear. I don't know what to say.
You'll be fine.
I suppose I just stand there.
Answer what you're asked, say as little as possible, and don't argue.
Well, even when they're calling me all sorts.
Especially when they're calling you all sorts.
I suppose you're right. Oh, well. At least the waiting's over.
Yeah, in a day or so, you better put it all behind you.
I wish I could believe that.
He belongs in the dock, you don't. I can't wait to see them take him down.
Well, go and get your coats.
OK, come on, Sophie.
You'll need to take it out on them.
I'm not. Don't start all that again.
You talk to him every time your back's turned.
I'll talk to who I like. I'm not going to walk past Chris and ignore him.
It'd be better if you did.
Why? To give you the satisfaction of thinking that I've got a guilty conscience.
Haven't you?
You're a bit early, aren't you? It's only just gone 9. Judge don't get there till 10.
I want a good seat.
It's not the pictures, ma'am.
No, it's my friend's trial and I'm going to support her. Do you know, Rita, you should shut the shop and she should shut the cafe.
Some of us have livings to earn.
Well, I've taken a day off work. I mean, money isn't everything.
Not when you've got a rich husband to support you.
Alfie, rich, I wish.
Well, Gail's right. It's not an entertainment.
No. Well, I have stuck by Deirdre through thick and thin. Hey, what about? I couldn't believe that about Ken Barlow in the paper. Ken Barlow, a gigolo.
Well, I can't imagine it.
No, neither can I. Alec must have given him an instruction manual. I mean, no wonder that poor girl died.
Have you got everything, Audrey?
Yeah, I got my fruit drops and I've got my bullseyes. Oh, give us one of them tiny little exercise books, would you, love?
You're not taking notes.
I promised Alfie I'd report back. Do you know, I don't know why he doesn't go himself. He's far more interested than I am.
Morning, all.
Hiya.
Yeah.
Give us a packet of fags, please.
Hey, have you seen the Gazette today, Les?
No, I haven't had time, love.
Well, you should. It's all about Ken Barlow. Women pay to go out with him.
You what? Never. Give us a copy.
Can't, we've sold out.
I'd lend you mine, but I've left it at home.
It doesn't matter. I'll get one in town.
Oh, another off to the trial.
I wouldn't miss it.
Well, Mrs. Roberts will give you a lift, won't you? You can go with her.
I won't. No, I'm dropping Gail at the cafe first.
No problem. I'll meet you there.
Well, you're not ready. You're not going looking like that, surely.
2 minutes, a bit of spit and polish, and I'm on my way.
There you are, ma'am. Your very own escort.
What does salacious mean?
I don't know, but it don't sound very nice.
They accuse Alec of preying on lonely women.
Well, it'd be only praying he's ever done.
Right, I'll get back to work
Here,
now.
have another cup of tea.
Oh, Alec will be back soon, you know.
Do you have a good man to stick this up in bar?
Yeah, hang on, just read that there.
No, I'm reading this.
No, there. Third column.
Oh, you don't want to worry about that, V. It means nothing.
The whole enterprise was centred on a grubby backstreet pub in the Rovers' return in Weatherfield's Coronation Street.
From this run-down tavern, Mr. Gilroy controlled his sleazy organisation. Nevertheless, he had considered the Rovers to be the unacceptable face of golden years and took care to keep his clients at a safe distance.
Oh, it means nothing. It's the kind of thing reporters say.
What grubby backstreet pub run down? If Alec Gilroy said that, I'll kill him. I mean, this pub's a palace.
Oh, they probably put words in his mouth.
I'll put my fist in his.
He wouldn't have said it, would he, V?
Oh, he'll have said it. I mean, he didn't say it with a five-star hotel, did he?
Is there no flaming sports page in this?
Will you get off that?
Ken, what have you been up to?
Been up to?
Don't tell us you've not read today's Gazette. Hey, don't rip it. That's my copy.
We had a job getting it, actually. They were sold out everywhere.
What is it?
Hey, Ken, you're a dark horse and no mistake.
Did she die in your arms, Ken?
No, this is rubbish. It's just not true.
Oh, so you're not a gigolo?
Ken, a gigolo.
Read it for yourself if you don't believe us.
What's going on?
It's about Babs Fanshawe. Here, put it away.
No, let me
No, it's
see.
nothing I haven't already told you, but if I know the Gazette, they'll have gone in for the lurid version.
Well, it hints at more than it says, actually.
Taking money off women, eh? Well, you can always rely on Barlow to make a fool of himself.
Ken, this is terrible.
But don't worry, it's got nothing to do with the case.
Oh, I don't know. This could help us. Anything that puts a prosecution witness in a bad light is OK by me.
Oh, way up. Look at the state of them. Who'd ever have thought he were a pilot?
Excuse me.
Regina versus Jonathan Lindsay and Deirdre Ann Rashid.
Chin up. We'll soon wipe that smirk off his face.
Anything else on offer today, madame? Personal services, bit of massage?
Hey, less of that. And don't you madam me.
Well, it's your correct title according to the Gazette, if you read between the lines.
Look, there's no goes on between the lines in here. Or in between all else, for that matter.
No, the action takes place off the premises.
Don't you be go spreading rumours, Des Barnes.
Hey, I can't stand rumours, Vera. Never listen to them. Buy a drink, Kev.
I'm all right.
Oh, you decided to show your face at last, have you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, well, you want to crawl back into the gutter where you come from. Oh, I hate standing next to you.
Is something bothering you, Vera?
Oh, you've noticed, have you? It's been one smart remark after another this morning because of you. One customer after another, you've turned the Rovers into one big smutty joke.
Well, at least it's on the map.
And so is Soho.
So's Amsterdam's red light district.
Well, you'd know all about that, wouldn't you? You want to get onto that paper and tell them to print, what do you call it?
A retraction?
Yes.
No. That'd only cause more fuss, Vera. No, the best plan is to withdraw quietly and let the story gently expire.
Jonathan Lindsay, Deirdre Ann Rashid. You are charged on an indictment containing 11 counts. Count 1 charges you, Jonathan Lindsay, with conspiracy to obtain a money transfer by deception. The particulars of that offence are that on various days between the 30th of October and 2nd of December 1997, you did conspire with Deirdre Ann Rashid to obtain a mortgage advance from the Northwest Building Society. Jonathan Lindsay, are you guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Count 2 charges you, Deirdre Ann Rashid, with obtaining property by deception. The particulars of that offence are that on or about the 17th day of November 1997, you dishonestly obtained from the East Lancastrian Bank a gold card, with the intention of permanently depriving the East Lancastrian Bank thereof by deception, namely by falsely representing that you had the permission of Captain Ian Jenkins to obtain such a credit card. Deirdre Ann Rashid, are you guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
No one disputes that John Lindsay fell for her charms. I put it to you that she entrapped him in her fantasies, so much so that at her insistence he used his position of trust as house-sitter to borrow, purloin and steal documents that would enable this sad woman to live a life of pretense and dishonesty. You'll hear of one pretense, that John Lindsay was an airline pilot. You may smile at the silliness and self-importance of a chain store tie salesman, but smiles give way to censure when the extent of the frauds become apparent. Deirdre Rashid spent thousands of pounds of money which did not belong to her. She obtained a mortgage. She furnished extravagantly an already luxurious home. She filled the house with top-quality items. She paid for nothing. She withdrew each day for 8 days, £500 in cash, using her dishonestly acquired gold card. Members of the jury, there is fantasy in this case, sad and risible fantasy. But that's not all. There's theft and fraud. There's gross and calculated dishonesty. A small part of it was perpetrated by Jonathan Lindsay, but all of it was masterminded by Deirdre Rashid.
Mr. Hamilton.
Ladies and gentlemen, my learned friend has presented 2 pictures of Deirdre Rashid, one true, one false. Her life has been as he described, nondescript, ordinary, not the stuff of dreams. She never owned her own home, she never owned her own credit card, and she was never accused of any sort of dishonesty. Then she met Jonathan Lindsay. Yes, she fell head over heels in love with him, but she'd done that before. Yes, she trusted him, but she'd trusted other men. Initially, she believed he was an airline pilot. She moved into the house he told her he'd bought for her. She accepted the credit card he presented to her. A handsome man had told her he loved her and had given her a pot of gold. She was swept along. She didn't stop to think. Her gullibility carried all before it. At a certain point, Mrs. Rashid did indeed discover that John Lindsay was a salesman, not a pilot. But by then, she was infatuated. She should have known that if he'd lied about one thing, he'd lie about another. But she didn't know. She was silly. Her head had been turned. She was the victim of John Lindsay's lies. Yes, she accepted the fraudulently obtained credit card. Yes, she accepted the transfer of the house into her name. Yes, she used the credit card to furnish it, and yes, she withdrew money on that card. But she did all these things innocently. Lindsay committed the mortgage fraud. He's already pleaded guilty to it. What you have to decide is whether Deirdre Rashid was his accomplice. I put it to you that she wasn't. I put it to you that Lindsay obtained the credit card as well as the mortgage. She's not guilty of the charges levelled against her. She's pleasant. She's passive. She's harmless.
Are you back then?
Haven't had a full hour yet.
We'll take far more than you're entitled to.
Shut it, Kevin.
Hey, I'm the boss. I'll tell you to shut it.
Either keep your mouth closed or let's know what's bothering you.
Nothing's bugging me, except working with you.
Is that all? Why don't you sack me then?
I can't, can I? I'm stuck with you. Well, I am if I want to keep my wife.
And what's she got to do with it? It doesn't bother Sally what you do with your business.
It does when you're sniffing round her all the time.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I know what I've seen.
I'm not trying to drag away your wife. And the people who I talk to are my business. Now, I'm getting on with work, so just leave me alone, all right?
Captain Jenkins, you've testified that when you returned to England in January of this year, you found that large sums of money had disappeared from your bank account.
Yes, that's correct.
Did you suspect that John Lindsay was involved in taking any of the money?
No, I didn't.
Had you given John Lindsay the keys to your house?
Yes.
Would you please explain why?
I asked him to look after it for a while for me while I was abroad.
Was there any part of the house which you kept locked? Any part to which John Lindsay did not have access?
No.
Did you instruct him to stay out of certain rooms?
No.
Did you inform him that there were private papers in the house, including some relating to your financial status, that you'd prefer him not to look at?
No.
In short, did you give him complete access to your home and its contents?
Yes, I did.
Captain Jenkins, would you call yourself an intelligent man?
Well, yes, insofar as I went to university, I got a good degree, I trained as a pilot, I hold relevant professional qualifications.
Well, unlike Deirdre Rashid, who didn't go to university and who has no degree. Indeed, no professional qualifications at all, apart from certificate in word processing. Yet, despite your qualifications and certificates, despite the sound mind and judgment that a man in your position must be presumed to have, you handed over your house and your possessions to a tie salesman who walked around in a pilot's uniform and who forged your signature to obtain money by deception.
Yes, I did.
Did you trust John Lindsay?
Yes.
Did he betray your trust?
Yes.
Thank you, Captain Jenkins. I have no more questions.
What are you doing now?
I had a headache. I needed an aspirin.
It's not aspirin we need.
Oh, don't start all that again, Kevin, or else I'm leaving right now.
No, come on, Sal, let's talk. Look, things aren't right between us, are they? I knew it won't be easy, but it's getting no better.
And whose fault is that?
You say something, I jump down your throat. I say something, you just lose your temper.
It doesn't have to be this way.
And we're both scared of upsetting the kids. We're getting nowhere.
Why don't we just go for a drink? We'll talk about it and we'll see what there is between us.
Okay.
Describe what happened.
I opened the door. Mrs. Rashid was standing there. She looked strange. She was very angry and she shouted things that made no sense.
And then?
There was a taxi waiting. She got inside and it drove away.
Did you see her again?
Yes. She came to the house a few days later.
Was she calm on this occasion?
No, she was far worse. She made wild accusations about my husband.
What was your reaction to these accusations?
I didn't react to them. I was too scared.
What made you scared?
Her manner. She'd lost control. I was afraid she might attack me.
Attack you?
Yes. And I thought she might attack my children.
Thank you, Mrs. Lindsay. I've no further questions.
Mr. Hamilton, you may cross-examine.
Mrs. Lindsay, where were your children at the time of Deirdre Rashid's visit on New Year's Eve?
They were in bed.
Did Mrs. Rashid see them?
No.
Where were they at the time of her second visit?
Visiting friends.
Did Mrs. Rashid ever threaten your children?
John said she did. That's why we went to Ireland.
Did she threaten your children in your hearing?
No. Not in my hearing.
Did she threaten you?
Not in words.
Did she threaten in gestures? For example, did she raise her hand to you?
No.
Did she brandish a weapon?
No.
Well, did she send a note or a letter which threatened violence?
No.
In what sense, then, did she threaten you?
She shouted, and she was unpredictable.
What did she do that you didn't predict?
She came to the house.
And?
She wouldn't leave.
How long did she stay?
I'm not sure.
Well, did she stay hours?
No.
Minutes?
Yes.
How many minutes? 30?
No.
10?
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Less than 10?
I asked her to leave.
Well, did she stay 5 minutes?
Yes, about 5 minutes.
Mrs. Rashid was there for 5 minutes. Your children were not present. She did not attack you. She did not threaten you. She did not threaten your children. Is that correct?
John said she was capable of anything.
Do you always believe what John says?
Yes.
For example, when he said over a period of months that he had to go away on business, did you believe him?
Yes.
Was he telling the truth?
No.
He was seeing Mrs. Rashid?
Yes.
I put it to you, Mrs. Lindsay, that as far as your husband is concerned, you believe what you want to believe. More precisely, perhaps, you believe what he wants you to believe.
Well, that's it. The show's over. She's got off with it.
Thought I'd meet you.
In case I got lost.
I used to meet you coming out from work years ago.
Yeah, I remember. Right, where we're going then? Rovers?
I know. How long have you got?
An hour? Hour and a half?
Rovers it is then. I'll just tell Chris to lock up.
Right.
Mr. Barlow, are you, as you've stated, a retired school teacher?
Yes, yes, I am.
And a male escort in his spare time.
And it was you who first discovered that John Lindsay wasn't a pilot?
Yes, I went to meet someone at Manchester Airport and I saw him working in the tie shop.
This was contrary to Mrs. Rashid's claim that he was an airline pilot.
It was John Lindsay who claimed to be a pilot. Deirdre had no reason to disbelieve him.
Did you inform Mrs. Rashid of Lindsay's true occupation?
Yes, I did.
Did she urge you to make the truth public?
No.
Did she urge you to say nothing at all?
No.
What did she urge you to do?
Well, she wasn't sure what to do.
But she did embark upon a course of action.
Yes.
Was this course of action to tell her friends and acquaintances that John Lindsay was not and never had been an airline pilot?
No.
No, it wasn't. She carried on the deception, didn't she?
Well, she was confused.
Were you confused?
No.
You were absolutely certain that John Lindsay was a tie salesman?
Yes, I'd seen him twice in the shop, and I'd asked an assistant who he was.
But when Mrs. Rashid concocted a story about John Lindsay, the airline pilot, failing a medical examination and having to take a ground job, you concurred.
She didn't concoct anything. He did.
Mrs. Rashid asked you to join herself and John Lindsay in promulgating a lie.
Yes, but Deirdre's intention was not to deceive anybody. It was simply to save herself from embarrassment.
Did you hear Mrs. Rashid lie in public about John Lindsay's supposed profession, his supposed medical condition, and his supposed new job?
Yes, I did.
Did you contradict any of the lies?
No.
Is it true you still love your ex-wife?
I've always been very fond of her.
Is it true you do anything for her?
Well, I wouldn't lie for her in a court of law.
But you'd lie on other premises? In a public house? In your own home? In the street?
John Lindsay told all the lies.
But you've just admitted that Mrs. Rashid told at least some of them.
Yes, but she didn't mean to.
Mr. Barlow, is it true you'd like to effect a reconciliation with your ex-wife?
No.
But you still have deep feelings for her?
Yes, I do.
Deep feelings for a woman who is a liar, who concocted lies with her accomplice, and who made you lie on her behalf?
It's not like that.
Did Deirdre Rashid lie on her own behalf, and did she put you up to lie on her behalf?
Yes, she did.
Thank you. I have no more questions.